Welcome back to the Speakeasy Law Podcast and part 3 in this series.
I would not.
Okay.
No.
So we shouldn't be using LegalZoom for legal matters?
We shouldn't use Rocket Mortgage.
LegalZoom is Zillow for law. I got you. Okay. Everything's compared to Zillow. I got you. Funny.
According to Zillow, we're all millionaires.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. My house is worth so much money.
I'll say right now, though,
Zillow.
Zillow in this market, though, like they can't
even keep up.
They're kind of close. Where normally they'd be like, we are the market's catching up to Zillow now. Is what's happening, I think.
And everywhere else is probably still widely inaccurate. But in Southwest Florida, where prices are crazy, Zillow is finally making sense.
Yeah,
Look at that.
Zillow nailed Southwest Florida for like 5 months.
Anyway. So, all right, number 4, Tim, what do you got?
Credit Karma.
Credit Karma.
So,
what do you like or you don't like? Thumbs up, thumbs down.
It's the Zillow for mortgage world.
Half an hour. He's giving it
I'm going to give you a thumbs up as a consumer to monitor your credit. Okay. It gives you a good tool. It gives you a good idea of like, my credit scores are this, and man, it's down here. Why? Whatever. Right? Okay. You're monitoring it just to check in on your credit. Okay.
Just for the record, Tim, I have not sued Credit Karma, but I have sued Equifax, Experian, TransUnion, and that's all 3, yes.
What's up? Credit Karma's time.
I think I got a legal
Credit Karma.
I just got, well, of course. Hey, I'm not about that. Somebody asked me the other day if I'd sue Santa Claus because Grandma got run over by a reindeer. I said, you're damn right I would. Another person who's probably got really good insurance.
Probably.
Or
no insurance.
Snake Farm. No insurance. Snake Farm. Okay.
I like
so anyway, go ahead. Back Credit Karma. I know nothing about this company.
Some more names you made up. Credit Karma is something like freecreditreport.com.
Okay.
Credit Karma. Those are the 2 biggies that we see. But even if they get their scores from Equifax, TransUnion, from the bureau directly, that is not going to translate into your mortgage credit score. Not going to translate to your mortgage credit score. So we will have people all the time that will say like, well, my Credit Karma is a 640.
Okay.
I immediately know.
You're like, cool, it's a 610.
Yeah, that score is going to probably be 20 to 40 points off.
Wow.
And so I tell them right away, hey, FYI, Credit Karma is not going to be the same as what we pull. The mortgage credit pool is, and I don't know if the car guy brought this up or not, but mortgage credit reports are different than what you get as a consumer.
No doubt.
Going straight to Equifax or TransUnion.
Can we say how impressed I am with myself that I said 610 and then you said 20 to 40% lower?
You got it right in the middle.
She was guessing.
That was
awesome.
Guessing. I just threw that out there.
You're so proud of yourself.
I know.
She is pretty proud of it. And she's not afraid to tell you.
I see this.
No, because here's the thing, is if I actually knew that fact, I'd be less arrogant about it. But the fact that I just made something up and I was right.
Oh, you guessed. Okay.
Yeah.
Wait, Tim, the best part about
I'm
it is
all
she's
down
short.
for it.
What are you, Casey? 5'1", 5'2"?
5'2", you're right.
5'2". And she's got long arms to pat herself
Nicole.
on the back.
Yes, I do.
Okay. Just throwing it out there. Long enough arms to pat herself on the back.
Especially when I guess.
But back to that report, I learned something when I went to go get a vehicle. Gosh, man, it was like 5 or 6 years now when I went and bought my truck. Okay. And I went to get a loan on it. And I walked in like I was just Bobby Bad.
You were ready.
Had my own mortgage report. I'm rolling up with my maxed out credit score, and I'm ready to like get the best rate, whatever. And this guy pulls my credit, and it wasn't even close.
And you're like, what the heck did you get that from?
You cars, like we would use back and forth thing. And he explained
you need
to
to
me,
go see my boy Matt Cola then.
I heard. But he properly explained to me that the car credit is a different algorithm. And because I didn't have a vehicle loan for like 8 years, my scores were lower, even though I had a mortgage and everything else. But anyways, that was something I didn't even know being in the business. But Credit Karma, great to monitor your credit, great to keep an eye on it and see what's going on. But that is not going to translate into a mortgage credit report.
Okay, good to know. Yeah. A lot of people don't know that. And people don't realize that when you pull a credit report from Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion, just think of it. Close your eyes and just imagine all your accounts swirling around in your head, right? The moment you say, I want my credit report from Equifax, it takes a snapshot of all those things surrounding and creates a report. Mm-hmm. If you pull one the next day, it may be different, depending on what's being submitted at that moment, at that day. And I don't think people realize that.
So I'd also like to point out, too, Carmen's biggest piece of advice he often gives is you can get a free credit report from each of the bureaus once a
Once a
year.
year.
Yeah.
So he's like, pull them quarterly. You don't have to pull them all 3 at the same time.
No, you just pull one at Equifax. 4 months later, you pull TransUnion. 4 months later, you pull
I mean,
Experian.
that's a great
that
way
makes
to
sense.
keep an eye on,
And-
it's basically using the Credit Karma theory, but with
the most
pulling the actual report.
Yeah, without paying Credit Karma. But the most important thing you'll learn is that all creditors do not report to all 3 bureaus.
Yeah.
That is true.
Yep.
And that's why you get to monitor all of them at least once on a yearly basis. Some of them do, but that I knew that mortgage reports are different than car reports. And that's really important to know. And I don't think a lot of our listeners know that, so thank you for bringing that up. That's really important
Oddly
to know.
enough, I feel like my credit report is higher for my mortgage than it was when I bought a car.
Well, mine was.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
Wouldn't you think that it would be the opposite? Like,
a-
that's a much larger expense.
Yeah, even when I was there, I go, you mean to tell me that the mortgage I paid for 12 years does not factor into this car?
Correct.
Nope.
And you're like, what?
It
Nope.
doesn't. Yeah.
It's like, what?
And I researched it, and he was telling the truth back then. So
And it's like, why am I doing it then?
I got a question for you.
Shoot.
So I don't bring it up and get shot down with my cash. So paying off collections. Okay?
Yes.
A lot of times we'll have people that will come to us and they'll say, hey, my credit was bad. I paid off all my collections a few weeks ago or a week ago. And for me, immediately I'm like, oh no. Because when you pay off your collections, your score drops.
Yep.
So do you have what would you advise people to do on collections?
If you have a collections account on your credit report, the question for me would be, is how is it hurting your credit? Is it because it's a lawsuit that was against you and a judgment? Is because that comes from the public records. If you pay it off, you're always better off getting it off the credit report. So when we settle a debt for somebody, hypothetically, let's say we settle a debt, and I got a great new scam on that, by the way. Don't tell the debt collectors, but I do. We'll talk about it off record. It was the most amazing thing I ever found, and it was like, how come I didn't know this for 25 years? But it's worked brilliantly in a couple cases. Anyway, I'm always a big fan of getting it off there because any blemishes on the credit report are more detrimental to a lender's eye, even if they're not factoring it in. But to see a debt collector's thing on there or a judgment is always hurtful, and it's always scary for a lender.
Okay.
They don't want judgments out there.
We're on the same page. So, like for collections, if we pull the credit report on somebody and they do have open and active collections, but their scores are good enough to get the mortgage, I advise them, look, we're not paying these off.
No.
Don't pay them off right now, but future, you should get rid of these.
What you're talking about,
Get 'em-
collection accounts or judgments?
Collections.
Okay, any judgments you don't want on there.
Yeah.
You don't want a judgment
Don't
on
want
there.
that either. Yeah.
No, okay.
I'm
but
talking about
collections, that's
Judgments is like not even an option.
fine. Right, not even an option. Okay,
Right.
good. We're on the
Collections
same
different.
page.
Yeah. Like you got a repo and they're still trying to collect $3,000 from
Every repo I see is 10 grand.
Yeah, it's always, isn't it crazy how expensive? We see big repos too. But we don't want them to pay it off right now or before they apply because it's going to drop their credit score. And the reason why we've been told by our credit bureaus is that when you pay off a collection, it's scored properly. It's scored as like it may be a mistake.
Right.
It may not be you. And so it's scored accordingly. And so when you pay it off, boom, that is you.
That's a ding.
Boom, and it drops your score.
So you've admitted fault completely.
You've admitted it. Your
Okay.
score suffers, but in the long run, your scores are going to improve mightily because you don't have this anchor of a collection weighing you down.
So after you buy the house, then
Correct.
you do it. Then
That's
you
what
get
we
rid
say.
of it.
Yep. Don't pay it off right now, but you need to when we close. After we close.
And then I would say, wait to get sued. Because then I
And
got
Carmen's like, tell me who it is. Tell me what happened.
Yes.
great scam.
So we actually we get a lot of people in who come in for that kind of thing, collections and credit card debt and all that. And then the really cool thing about our office though is we see everybody and then they sit with an attorney and then a lot of times our attorneys say, hey, you can handle this on your own. You don't need us. Or wait until you get sued. Like if they're not coming after you, you're not trying to buy a house, you're not trying to do anything with it. So
Time and distance
sued.
heals all wounds.
Yeah.
And they get a lot more reasonable. Creditors and debt collectors get a lot more reasonable when they get closer to the statute of limitations because now they got to do something with it. And if they do
Or
any
lose
research,
it.
and if they do any research on our firm, they realize that there's a 50% chance they're going to get sued themselves if they come after our client. So it's pretty funny.
Well, and you guys do such a great job as well.
thank you.
So,
Appreciate that.
You really
thanks,
do.
Tim.
We tried, Tim.
I'm not an
With that,
attorney,
I'll
but
say
I'll
cheers.
say thank you.
There you go. I got one more.
Go ahead. I was just going to ask you for number 5.
It's a broad one though, and
Hit it.
it's I just put educate yourself.
Oh.
Is-
Does this count?
Does this absolutely? This is absolutely counts because they're going to take the top 5 things and they're going to learn from it and they're going to research it some more.
Things.
Well, here comes 5.
Yeah, go for it.
She's like, let's see what you got.
Let's see what you got.
But it's educate yourself. There are so many online resources. I mean, just like
what do you have on your website for people to learn? I mean, let's just talk about yours.
Yeah, you can go 2 things. You can do our website, timhartjr.com.
Okay.
We have resources for buyers, for realtors. Resources for people who want to refinance, and a lot of different videos on there. Our YouTube page is loaded with content. Like we go into like it'd be 2 to 3 minutes. It could be a 40-minute long video. Right. It just depends on what we're talking about. Steps to the mortgage process. We got a video about each one of those.
Great.
And so there's so many online resources that we can tell when someone comes to us and they've already done all their homework. They've educated themselves. Yeah, they're well versed in it. And a lot of times, like in lending, and I'm sure you guys do it in your business, where it's like, you use acronyms left and right, or your code, the words you use every day in your office, but you try to use it to a customer and it doesn't work. Like LTV, DTI. No, right. I gotta say loan to value, debt to income ratio, right? Like, and so when borrowers come in, they're like, "Hey, I'm going for this LTV, and I did my DTI the other day, and it's like 37%." I'm like, "Oh, you can go fist bump at that point in time. So you're good, boy. You go, girl. All right. Let me interrupt your filter. I don't want to change your thought, but who's more educated, men or women, when they come into your office? Oh, women. I knew it. I told you, Casey.
Carmen's been waiting for somebody to agree with him.
No, it's not that. No, it's not that. You don't agree with that?
We do. We hear it all the time.
I have a strong theory on this.
No doubt.
I have a strong theory saying, guys, if you're smart and you're a business owner, surround yourself with some badass women. Yeah. Because they are the future of the business in any business. Women do the research, have the connections,
much more meticulous.
make the relationships. Surround yourself with some badass women because you're gonna need them.
Yeah, and the funny thing is when we have a husband and wife, and like my relationship is dead on this way. You always have the one person that pays all the bills and knows how much money's in the account and what
the household CPA. I call him.
And then the other one doesn't know jack squat.
I'm the clueless one.
Oh, me too.
I'm the totally clueless one.
I am not the clueless one.
Shocker.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert. Spoiler alert.
So I also fit into this mold.
There you go.
Yeah.
Casey's the one who does the research. Casey's the one who does this. Casey's the one who does that. And I get that. And in my house, it's my wife too. Yeah. My wife is the researcher. My wife is going to plan the trips. She's going to do this. She's going to research the car to buy. I'm not.
Yeah. I feel like, going to do that. It's like that saying that like on Christmas, the guys have to show up. You Dude, see like the list.
I was just going to bring this up.
Okay.
No, go ahead.
All right.
See if it's the same thing.
So the list of like the gifts the husband has to buy, and it says gift for wife. And then gift that the wife has to buy, and it's like everybody in the family listed. Like it's the same thing. Like all he has to do is show up at Christmas, and it's all there. Every time we've done anything with a mortgage, with a credit card, with a car, I come in with like all this info, and all he's got to do is show up and sign it.
What I was going to say.
And say thank you.
Play off of that. I swear to God, when we have Christmas, I am as surprised.
Me too. I was going to say that.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. Because that's cool. That's because you only had to buy a gift for your wife. That is literally all you had to do.
I don't even do that anymore.
Same thing.
I've screwed it up so many years. I'm not going to do that. No.
You already got me an iPad and whatever.
I actually don't get gifts either, but my kids are still young enough that they think it's a big deal. So they make my husband, buy a gift.
My wife treats herself very well.
I mean, I buy things
whatever you want all year,
when
right?
I want. Yeah, but I'm the frugal one too. So I'm the one that's like, do we need that? Really?
Yeah. But I feel
I'm the one that's heartbroken every day when I get home and see Amazon packages.
It's not for you. It's not for you.
I didn't order them. Yeah.
I walk in every day. There's boxes somewhere around there.
Yes.
Where did this is the biggest phenomenon in my life, right? Boxes show up. They're never for me.
Right.
I think I ordered in 2021. I ordered one book, and my wife had sent it.
Well, what's really
and
funny?
I was like, "Ooh, my book arrived."
Hey, the Amazon guy's like, "Who's Carmen?"
Yeah, you don't even know I live there.
So what's really funny is that in my house, the Amazon account is under my name because, of course, I'm the one that did the research and signed up for it. So there's packages delivered to Casey every single day, multiple packages to Casey every single day.
Because it's your account.
Because it's my account. But yet, I'm not the one ordering anything.
Okay. honest admission, I've never been on Amazon.com.
No.
So
I swear to God, my wife goes
Never?
on. I tell her I need a book. She goes on and she orders it for me.
Or I do.
I wouldn't know how to do it. Or Casey does. I wouldn't know how to do it.
Cool site.
I just don't. Yeah, I don't know how to do it. I would be.
He's gonna take over the
Why-
world. But
Well,
Man, we should have asked Matt
Tim,
Cola
I'm
about his
a-
Amazon account.
I wouldn't. We should. Write that down. We need to ask
we
everybody
need to
about
ask
that.
everybody about their Amazon account.
Because-
Matt buys things when he's drinking sometimes, and so he'll forget about
my
it
gosh.
until it shows up, and then
Oh
he's
my
so
God.
excited for
He did
amazing.
admit that. He did admit
Did
that.
he say that on the podcast?
I think he did.
Oh my God, I got to go back and listen. He buys some really cool stuff when he's drinking, and then forgets about it.
and then he's all surprised, like it's Christmas
Yeah.
when it shows up.
I can honestly say
Exactly.
I've never done that.
How do
I
I
haven't
get
either.
like drunk buying? What
Yeah.
is that called? Like it's not, you're not drunk dialing.
I always-
There's got to be
I-
a name for that, right?
I'm always surprised. I'll like sit there and my wife will be on her computer at night. I'm like, what are you looking at? And it's like I'm on this site, and I'm like, I never even heard of that site.
Meanwhile, I'm over-
I love being clueless about this stuff.
It is fun. Do we so like my kids were talking about an advent calendar, right? Like they want to. It's Christmas time,
Yeah.
and so they're like, "Hey, can we get an advent calendar?" My wife's like, "Yeah, sure." Dude, I swear we have I think 8 of them. I got 3 kids. And
8 of
there's
them?
8 showed up. Like there's a Reese's peanut butter cup advent calendar. There's dog ones, like all types. I'm like, what are all these? She's like, yeah, I went a little overboard. And just we got 8 advent calendars, 3 kids.
Well,
all
you
they do
need-
is eat them every day. They just
you
open
need-
up every one of them.
You
Find
need to know.
something.
8 of them. I think that's it's popular culture. You got to have 8 nowadays. I don't know. Wow.
No,
So-
it was just she just saw a ton of them and just kept clicking. That's what it was.
That's funny. So here's what I do: is if I do online shop, because it's not often that I do that, other than I am a homebody, so I don't like to actually go out and shop in person. So, but I add a lot of things to my cart. And then I go look at my cart and I think, I really don't need this stuff because I'm so frugal
second
and I
guess.
don't like to buy things. So then I just delete it all and close it and don't buy anything.
Well, Casey and I are both readers, so
I do. My Kindle app
She's
is
like,
life.
wasn't Abe Lincoln the one that would write the real nasty letter and then throw it in the trash?
Oh my God, I do that all
And
the time.
it's like you're that person.
I
You
do
buy
that.
a bunch of stuff then delete it. Like I feel kind of better.
I've written letters to
You do?
people that I don't ever send, and
Yeah,
I
right?
feel so much better when I get done. Now I can do it online or like type it out or in person. I haven't done it in years, but I used to do it when I was younger. But yeah, I feel so much better. I put out all
did
my
not know that.
aggression, and then I get rid of it. I probably haven't done it since college.
That was Abe Lincoln, right? That did that.
I
He
have
was-
no idea.
I
I've
don't
never
know. I've
heard
never
that.
heard
He
that
was
story
known-
before.
He was known to do that, and he
Was
just
he?
threw the letter away and never sent it.
I honestly haven't probably done it since college, but I used to all the time.
what's that song? Letters I've written, never meaning to send.
Oh, I
And,
never sent them anywhere.
It's a 70s song.
He's ready to sing.
I'm gonna look up
I'm-
Abe
I'm-
Lincoln when I leave.
Yeah, call me out. I hope it.
I hope you're
I'm
right.
I'm gonna
So what
find
else?
him.
If you got some words
There's
of wisdom
a party
to share,
going
there's a
on
party going on.
next to
Yeah,
us,
they're jamming.
and they are enjoying it. I just
Yeah.
want you guys to know.
Some Christmas.
Yeah,
party.
there's some party going on down there.
Yeah, they're having fun. I would say you asked like any like closing thoughts. Is that what you're asking, or what were you saying?
No, not closing thoughts. The words of wisdom from the mortgage industry. Beads of wisdom.
He's closing the door now.
Oh, that's fine.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm just why they haven't invited us over to the party.
I know.
I'm just a little
Yeah.
perturbed about
Can
that.
we hold up a sign and say, "Can we come"?
Can we come?
We want to hang out.
We'll do that after.
One thing that came to mind when we were talking is
What?
one thing that people don't know that it's kind of a service we offer. Some other places do it as well. Is if you do have kind of a questionable file, we can underwrite your entire file. So without having a property in place, I kind of didn't mention that.
Okay.
That we can underwrite your entire file and have everything done and approved. That way you know everything's done. When you make that offer on that house, we can call the listing agent. We can tell them, hey, that borrower has been underwritten and approved. All we need is a contract, order your appraisal, title, and they're good to go.
Okay.
So I should have mentioned that one.
I just did.
Yeah, there we go.
But that's a good thing. That's a
Luckily,
good
you
thing.
threw it
That's
in there, Tim.
Again, that's a good thing to know. So that's a word of wisdom that people. The bottom line, Tim, is this: should somebody, if I'm thinking about buying a house, should I go to Rocket Mortgage or should I call a mortgage broker locally?
Definitely a local. So a local lender
Yeah,
is who you want to go to.
I agree, and you have access. I mean, if somebody goes to their bank, let's say I'm at the local credit union, and I'm a credit union, lover. I go to the credit union. That's one person. That's one bank or credit union that's going to give me their rate, their opinion. But a mortgage broker has access to multiple lenders, and
So-
you shop them, right?
Well, kind of. So
Okay.
there's different levels to that. So like we're a mortgage lender first.
Okay.
I am.
Okay.
We close, we fund, we service, we underwrite all of our own files as
Okay.
being like mortgage. We have the ability to broker a loan.
Okay.
Like a self-employed person that doesn't claim enough income, you can do a bank statement loan, use their average deposits for income. That would be a broker loan for us.
Okay.
There are mortgage brokers in town that do what you're talking about.
Multiple lenders.
Yeah. And I was that at one point. I didn't
Right.
like it as much.
Okay, why
for
not?
me. It wasn't the right fit compared to what I do now because, like, yeah, I have all these lenders and resources, right? But, like, do any of them know me? You know, like, do I have that relationship to push that file, the emergency file through where, like, the president of Van Dyke, he's a text away. You know, I can call them up, our underwriters, etc. It just worked better for me, and I know I got plenty of mortgage broker friends that swear by it and love it.
Right.
You know, it's just two different business models. But either way, those guys are local.
Right.
So even if they're a local mortgage broker or we are a mortgage lender, you still want to work with them.
Okay.
Because they're going to be accessible, available. Your realtor will be able to contact them.
Right.
You're dead on right.
Okay.
Local lenders.
I just want to make sure that the consumer who's listening to this podcast understands why it's beneficial to them to reach out. And again, it's about the relationship first. You're going to want to get to know you. You're going to want to know them. You can advise them locally. If they have to drop off documents, you're there locally. You can tell them what the local people want, and you have a relationship with how many realtors in Southwest Florida?
Yeah, tons. We got a great reputation. And I'm not trying to brag or doing Casey pat on my back there. But
your arms aren't long enough.
It's just too wide.
I was going to say, maybe it's because I'm so small.
I can't fit it. But one thing, the point you're bringing up is excellent because what happens is we tell people this, right, about, hey, you got to be a bank, you stay with Bank of America or Wells or whoever, and they may or not believe us because it's competition. The problem is they don't find out that you were telling the truth until a week prior to closing. And then once it's a week prior to closing, boom,
that's
the
when
fire
everything
grill,
blows
that's
up.
when you guys get your calls.
Yep.
Hey, close tomorrow. And we're going nuts. Well, it's too late. You can't back out now. It's a 30-day process. Now you got to ride it out with this train wreck and hope you get the closing. And you're in a market now where if you don't close on time, there's another buyer behind it that's waiting to take that house.
Thanks again for tuning in. And don't forget to subscribe anywhere you listen.